Yo guys, before we get the regret tutorial started, I'm actually going to go through this very first section to regret because there's a number of different things that can happen and there's a backup strat and everything, and I want to make sure it's included in the tutorial. So let's start at the beginning here. So we're going to proceed like normal. Once you grab the sniper, I'm going to take a look at our spawns here. So as you can see, we did not get the normal swordfly spawn. So when that happens, you actually want to look to your right here to to see if you get this spawn, and we did. So, and you want to swordfly to him in that case. So let's try it again here. So let's just pretend we did not get that normal spawn there, and we got this guy. So if that happens to where you don't get that spawn, you want to swordfly to him and then sword him and sword that guy. So we'll do it in full. So let's just pretend we did not get that spawn. We turn to our right here, camo, and hit the fly. And we actually didn't get the jackal that was in here. I guess we beat him to the spawn. So just pretend there was a jackal in here and we sworded him. You want to slowly creep around this area here. Look for this sniper. Snipe him and look over here. There may or may not be a sniper here. In this case there is. Just want to take him out. And once you take all the snipers out, you want to hop on this ledge and jump to this gondola. So here's an important part to the backup strat. What you want to do is, in order for this gondola to start moving, you have to spawn in the enemies, and you can actually activate that spawn from the left side on the top of this ledge. So what you want to do is jump onto it, kind of walk forward onto the left side, and just camo when you get the spawns. And you want to make your way to the gondola as soon as that happens. As soon as you hear the audio for everything, you want to make sure you are booking it to the gondola, or else it'll be too far away already. So that's the backup strat. We'll do it in full right now, whether I get the first spawn or not. So let's just pretend we didn't get it. We look over here for the backup. We got this guy. We sword fly to him, sword him, sword this jackal. Go ahead and creep around this corner. This sniper will almost always be there. This sniper will not always be there, but look anyway. And it looks like he's gonna leave us alone. So just come here, camo when you get on here, wait for the spawns. As soon as you hear the audio, just start booking it to the gondola and crouch behind here. That is the full backup strat to if you do not get the first jackal spawn. And there is actually one more thing I want to show you guys. If you do happen to get that first spawn, there's a couple of different options you can do depending on what happens. So I'll show you guys those right now. Take two. Alright, so we hit our fly. You want to look at these two pillars. Depending on whether you land on the left or right side, will impact what you are supposed to do. So pay attention to where you are. So we're on the left. We actually went past. You can actually do that. That is a strat. So I'm kind of glad that came up. That is very difficult to do if you find yourself soaring over those enemies and onto the left side, all the way on the left side of that platform. You can actually hit a sword fly off an enemy and make it to the gondola still, but it's very difficult. So that's actually one of the strats you can do there. But 90% of the time, at least, you'll find yourself not doing that. So we finally hit our fly. We're going to be on the left side, and we're going to look for this elite spawn. He will always be there. You can actually hit a fly off him. But we got a great cancel off that jackal for that. But for that instance, when you're on the left side of those pillars, the most consistent thing is to get a quick sword fly off that elite spawn that will always be there. So in this case, we're on the right. We're going to camo when we hit the ground. Look for this jackal spawn. This is the best spawn possible. And you want to sword cancel off him to the gondola. Make sure you jump before. So that's the case where you're on the right side and you get one of those jackal spawns. So we're going to be on the left side this time. We'll look for this spawn, do a quick sword fly. There we go. That was it there. So those are the two sword tricks you can do to the gondola, depending on which side of those rocks that you're on. Now that we got all those scenarios out of the way, I will see you guys for the regret speedrun tutorial. Thanks, guys. Yo guys, welcome to the legendary speedrun tutorial for regret. Let's get started right away. First thing you want to do is head through this door and swap your rockets for the sniper. And when you come out here, you want to look for this spawn here, and you want to execute a sword fly right away on him. Don't camo. Make sure you jump before the fly. When you hit this ledge, just press A to make sure it stops you. And when you hit the ground here, just camo. And depending on whether you're to the right or left of those pillars will determine what you're going to do here. In this case, we were to the left, and so it gave us the elite spawn, which is there every time if you're to the left of the pillars. And you want to hit the sword fly there, and that'll bring you to the gondola. If you're to the right, you want to do a cancel off a jackal. Feel free to go back to the beginning of this video to see a full tutorial of that entire section with multiple different cases and scenarios. Then once you get on the gondola, you can't really do anything until the next gondola comes. This is an auto scroller here. Alright, so once this gondola is in close enough range to jump, to just go ahead and do that, and then head to the button. Make sure you have your sniper out. Once you hit this button, immediately turn to the right, throw a grenade into that gap, and make sure it goes behind the center pillar where the bugs are. You want to make sure that all 4 bugs at least get taken out with the grenades. And hopefully you can either at least damage the 2 elites that spawn on there, or just kill them with grenades. Sometimes they like to hide, and you have to go on there sometimes and find them. Then you want to look back here once they're all dead, and it'll give you these 4 bug spawns. And just take care of them right away. You'll know that gondola is clear when the music starts playing. After you take out those 4 bugs, just come to this corner here. Line up your foot right in between that line and the side of this wall. Just like I have it right there. And just go ahead and stand here. This corner will ricochet you up to the fuel rod when you hit your sword fly off this turret. You'll always get a checkpoint here. So right when you get the checkpoint is when your reticle turns red. Like right after. Then once that happens, just hit the fly. And it'll send you up to the fuel rod. Go ahead and swap your sniper for the fuel rod. And stand on the edge of this bridge here. And just wait for the spawns. Right when you get these spawns, just fire 2 fuel rod shots up there. And then fire 2 more down below you. And that'll take care of those jackals. And then there's always going to be one to the left. Go ahead and take him out, and that's all the jackals. And go ahead and sword this guy. If done properly, the Cortana dialogue should start when you sword that grunt. And then there's going to be 2 jackal spawns that come through this door. Just go ahead and take them out with your sword or fuel rod. They can get you sometimes, so just be careful. And then you want to come over here and pick up those 2 plasma grenades. And you also want to make sure you have sniper as of this point. So just swap your fuel rod for it. When this door opens, you can just chuck a plasma in there and take care of those guys and just press the button. And unfortunately, we have another auto-scroller here. There's a couple of these on regret. So just enjoy the ride.
I've intercepted a secure transmission from Regret's carrier to something called High Charity. It seems to be a formal apology to the prophets of truth and mercy. Apparently, Regret jumped the gun when he attacked Earth. He's asking the other prophets to forgive his premature arrival, arguing that no human presence was foretold. That explains why there were so few ships in his fleet. But it's odd a prophet would have such bad intel about his enemy's homeworld.
Alright, so once that lovely elevator ride is over, go ahead and take a right here. Take out your sniper. And when you come to this door, look at this grunt right in the center sleeping. Go ahead and zoom in once on him and execute a sword fly. And just jump in mid-fly. You do not need to camo for that fly. When you get through this door, turn camo on and go to the right. And just follow my pathing here so you don't get sniped. Because there's a ton of snipers in this room. Sometimes this hunter will get you, but it's really rare. You can just usually walk past him like that. Then when you come to this area, don't proceed. Take out the first camo elite you see. And then there's going to be 2 of them. There's the second one there. So we took both out. Sometimes after you take the first one out, the second one's going to hide. And you're just going to have to go sword him and hope you don't die. Just use camo accordingly. For that, and after those 2 elites die, you can just camo right past that sword elite there. The grunts won't bother you. And just head to this next elevator switch. And we got another auto-scroller. So enjoy the second ride.
Regret's carrier just received a response from High Charity. A very well encrypted message from the Prophet of Truth. Listen to this. Your haste has jeopardized the fulfillment of our covenant, threatened our grand design. That you shall be spared a public display of our contempt is thanks only to Mercy and his wise counsel. Truth, Mercy, Regret. 3 prophet hierarchs. Killing Regret should shake up the covenant leadership. But frankly, it sounds like you might be doing Truth a favor.
Once the second elevator ride is done, go ahead and walk up this slant like halfway and then turn around and jump up here. And jump and sword cancel off that guy. He will always be there. Do not camo though. Camo here. And just crouch jump up these ledges. And just follow my pathing here. To avoid getting melted by those guys. Just have your sniper out here. And go ahead and swap it for the rockets right in this gun carrier here. Just hold X on it and you'll get them. And then just walk straight to the button. Sometimes you'll get enemy spawns on this gondola. Just take them out with rockets. In this case, I did get the enemies. You can see them on the radar. And then go ahead and swap your sword for this sniper right here. Make sure your sword lands on the carrier, or else it has a chance to actually fall right through the gondola. And that sucks when that happens. Then you're going to get 2 Banshee spawns. They can either both be on the left, both be on the right, or one of each. In this case, we got one on each. So just go ahead and take them out. Once the Banshees are dead, you want to look at this other oncoming gondola. Fire some rockets to the right side. Try and get them in the gondola. But make sure you save 1 rocket and go ahead and swap it for the battle rifle right behind you. And start sniping enemies. The 2 most important enemies are those jetpack elites. They'll melt you. And there's also some fuel rod grunts that spawn. But fortunately, my rockets took them out when we fired them. That's what the rockets are mainly for, is to take out those fuel rods. Then you'll know you killed all the enemies when the gondola starts moving. The other gondola. And you can go ahead and swap back your weapons for your original rocket launcher and sword. And you can make your way up onto this platform here. And just wait a little bit. So right here, you can just zoom in your rockets once and just wait for the enemy spawns to come to the edge. There's going to be a couple of grunt spawns you can fly off of. So once your reticle turns red off one of those grunts, you can hit the fly at any point. So there it is. Make sure you jump right at the end and fire a rocket to take out enemies, but unfortunately my rocket did absolutely nothing. And I actually have to camo a little early here so they don't see me. If your rockets actually took out enemies, go ahead and camo here where I'm at right now sorting this elite instead of back where I did. I'm actually surprised I survived all that. Once you get into the regret room, just head to the left and he'll be in the same spot every time for the first one. And you either want to sword board him or you grenade board him like a normal Wraith vehicle. It'll do some extra damage to him. And after that first hit, you can actually come up here in camo and crouch behind this wall for a chance at a checkpoint. Unfortunately, I didn't get it there. But if that happens, he'll always be to the left there after you do that. And now, unfortunately, it's a bit random. The first two hits are pretty consistent. But other than that, it's pretty random. You can really use sword flying to regret to your advantage here. It speeds up this fight a lot. But as for playing it safe, I highly recommend just coming up onto the top levels after each hit and just kind of regrouping, letting your camo recharge and stuff, like you see me doing right now, and just finding him on your radar. A lot of runs die here because it's very easy to get greedy and you will get melted by those plasma rifle elites if you do get too greedy and start getting hits that you probably shouldn't be going for. Anytime you have an open sight on like this on regret, you can probably do a fly there, providing you have camo, so you can get away if he drops you on the floor. But that was my last hit, so I didn't have to worry about it. And that is actually the end of regret. So now we'll just watch the run in full speed, and I will see you guys then. Thanks, guys.
Wait, go back. This lake couldn't have been formed by volcanic action, which means it was either built this way on purpose or was created by some other cataclysmic event. I'm sorry. Were you trying to kill something? You know, I think the Forerunners built these new structures around the old, to protect them, honor them. Pure speculation, mind you. I'd need to make a thorough survey to be sure. Now I see. There's a submerged section that connects these towers to the outlying structures. Looks like we're going down. Unless you'd prefer to swim. intercepted a secure transmission from Regret's carrier to something called High Charity. It seems to be a formal apology to the prophets of truth and mercy. Apparently, Regret jumped the gun when he attacked Earth. He's asking the other prophets to forgive his premature arrival, arguing that no human presence was foretold. That explains why there were so few ships in his fleet. But it's odd a prophet would have such bad intel about his enemy's homeworld. Regret's carrier just received a response from High Charity. A very well encrypted message from the Prophet of Truth. Listen to this. Your haste has jeopardized the fulfillment of our covenant, threatened our grand design. That you shall be spared a public display of our contempt is thanks only to Mercy and his wise counsel. Truth, Mercy, Regret. 3 prophet hierarchs. Killing Regret should shake up the covenant leadership. But frankly, it sounds like you might be doing Truth a favor.
So good. We're approaching the main temple now.
Roger that. I'm as close to the library as I can get. There's some sort of barrier. We're trying to find a way around it. I'll keep you posted.
Covenant fleet has launched multiple waves of phantoms. Too many for me to track. We don't have much time. There's the target. Take him out. There are honor guards all over this place. Watch your back.
Warriors, attack! The demon must die! Come out! Shall not. Fool! You've made yourself an easy... Human filth! You befoul this holy place!
Bad news. The phantoms are turning around. The fleet is preparing to fire on our position. We need to get out of here.
As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on Sacred Icon. BBK out.